Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another video. Before we get into it, I have to say thank you for all the support you guys have been showing these last weeks. We are almost at our goal for 50 subscribers, so make sure to share this video around, subscribe if you're new. It would really help me out and I would be eternally grateful. Now, as you can see, this is not a live video because I haven't been able to travel in these last few days, even weeks actually. So I thought, let's make a video reviewing the motorcycle I have, because I have just gone over 2,000 kilometers and I thought maybe, I can just share my thoughts on the bike and what I like, what I don't like. So let's just start by saying I drive a Honda Rebel 500, the 2024 model. There is a new 2025 model, but the differences aren't really that big. It mainly has to do with the Euro norms, but they are very comparable bikes. So first off, the looks. The Rebel 500 is a small cruiser. It clearly gets its inspiration from other bikes like Harley Davidson's or your Indians, but much smaller, much compacter, and honestly much less intimidating looking than those bikes, which is also exactly why they were built, to get into the market without having the big loud engines, super aggressive looking, while still having that characteristic look of a cruiser. The bike is made out of mostly metal. Some parts are plastic, such as the front mudguard or the headlight and other smaller parts, but the majority is still metal, and all the lights on it are LEDs. The speedometer is also all digital, there's nothing analog about it, so it really leans into this modern cruiser style. Now the engine is a 471cc engine, or about 29 cubic inches, creating about 46 horsepower and 43 Newton meters of torque. So it's not the most powerful bike, but with only being 190 kilograms, it's actually very fuel efficient. It has a 11.2 liter fuel tank, and Honda claims it can do 3.85 liters per 100 kilometers, which is about 61 miles per gallon. So theoretically, the bike can do up to 290 kilometers on one tank, which is quite a lot for the amount of fuel you put in it. Me personally, I think I would get around 280 kilometers with it, and that is with an already relaxed riding style. So it's really only when you have the ideal conditions that you would even ever get 290 kilometers, but still, keep in mind this range drastically lowers when there's two people on the bike, because it is one of the things that you will notice immediately. The performance of the engine goes lower by quite a lot, which isn't super illogical, but it's something to keep in mind. The engine is also a 2-cylinder parallel stroke, so it's not a V-twin as you might get on a Harley or an Indian, so there's also a difference there. For me personally, that's more than enough for a motorcycle I've only been driving since last year somewhere, and I took a long break before I got my driver's license and I bought the bike. So out of personal experience, I can say good engine, but it might be a bit lacking for other people. Off the line, it can pull away quite quickly. It's not going to have enormous power such as a sports bike or even a Harley, the amount of torque those can produce, but as long as you're not racing someone, you can get off the line pretty quickly and in front of traffic. Also, because the bike is only 190 kilograms heavy, the handling is very good on this bike. Even though it's not a sports bike, I can throw this thing around like it's nothing. It has saved me numerous times because people are absolutely blind when they are in their car, so I'm quite happy. Now, one of the downsides of this bike is the comfort. The seat height is 690 millimeters, so I can flat foot this thing. I'm 180 centimeters tall, which is just below 6 foot, and I'm flat footing it, so keeping myself upright in a standstill is no problem. However, the seats are not that great, especially the passenger seat. That's basically just a bicycle seat, so for longer distances tend to be uncomfortable. I've noticed that when we do longer distances with the motorcycle, I like to stop after about an hour of driving just to stretch the legs, just to extend my back, do a bit of stretching, so I then can continue further on, because longer than that my back starts to hurt. And my girlfriend has been a passenger a few times now, and she can tell me that it basically feels like riding a bicycle for very long periods of time after such a prolonged session. Also, she says that whenever we hit bumps, or very aggressive bumps that is, the pain can really shoot through her spine, so there's something to be careful about. However, I do have to say, when she is on the back, the rides somehow become smoother for me, so there's that. So that is something I would like to preface, maybe look into that to upgrade the seats. I'm also looking into it, but I can't really find something successfully, but that's the only downside or real downside of the bike in my opinion. The Rebel 500 is 6,699 euros as of speaking, but that is also for the newest model. There are a lot of discounts happening right now with the 2024 models, because those were priced at 7,199 euros when they first came out, and it's quite weird to have an older bike be more expensive, so a lot of dealerships will lower the price to 6,199 euros so they can get those out of their stock, which is how I got mine. I bought it at the exact right time because there was basically a 1,000 euro discount on it. And that's also a major plus point. You know, you're not gonna crash your wallet because you want a motorcycle. You know, a Harley Davidson in Belgium starts at about 17,000 euros or something, so that's a major plus point. Just to end, I want to give you my personal thoughts about the bike. I think it's the right call for a beginner motorcyclist, or if you want something less powerful to drive around the city with. It's also great for shorter distances or even commuting shorter distances. It's also very easy to handle. And again, the price is just amazing. A couple of negatives: it's not so great for longer driving or highway use. You can use it on a highway, it's fast enough, but I felt quite uncomfortable being on such a light bike between cars that are going 120, even 130, 140, sometimes even just overtaking you, because again, it's a light bike and that's really noticeable on the highway. Something else I noticed is when there are strong winds, it becomes a bit unstable. Again, that's probably just because of the low weight. You know, the wind is really going to affect you when you're on it. However, I have never really had any major scary situations. It's just that you need to be on your guard when driving in strong winds, and the biggest downside is just the seats. I think those are really something you should look into upgrading. Anyway, that's it for this video. If you are thinking about buying this bike, I say go for it, because I don't think there's anything you can go wrong with, especially for the low price point. Just upgrade those seats. Anyway, that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment if you have something to say, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.